63rd cap. Amazingly, she is still 35 off the record of Sandrine Suéban. The one French player on a booking could see her out of a potential semi-final. Brazil, or will France march on? Underway, France and Brazil fighting for a place in the semi-finals of the Olympic Games. Well, that, an early start and an early card. A shrug from Jennifer, the one that saw Marta sent off. Now Selma Basha swings it in. Brazil
been so steady because Hervé Renard has made limited changes.
Catches that ball well. At the back post, just knocked back in by Yasmin, but not with much conviction. And it's cleared away by Sandy Toletti.
Lovely ball over the top, and this is where teams are their most job, because he still had time left on his contract at Saudi Arabia and opted to leave there, and they accepted his resignation so he could take over this job. But if he wins, it's a justified decision, but if he doesn't, his contract's up after this. Where do France go?
Trying to find a gap, thought about the cross, but instead it's a lovely nutmeg. A near post header. It was such a tight angle to try and get on target.
That's not good from Basha. There's no way the Brazilian should be getting along through that gap. Fortunately, Gabi Nunes was...
Could fall nicely here. Delphine Casarino, and that's going to be a penalty, surely. Oh, there was a slight pause. She took her time, but she has finally pointed to the spot.
And that's what we talk about, pace, troubling defenders. Maybe focusing too much on Baltimore, but Casarino, lovely long ball.
Oh, it's a great save. Well, I mentioned she's known for quick reactions. So Lorena read Kashawi like a book.
Well, she read it, but there's just no power on the shot at all. It was almost playing into the goalkeeper's hands. If you're going to go low into the bottom corner, you've got to put more pace on the ball.
It does seem a surprise Kashawi took the responsibility. The pressure on Kashawi. Venat just ran away, but on the spin. Brazilers are never going to come off unless they absolutely have to, as Brazil look to really punish France in the wake of the missed penalty, but too much. And Brazil are getting a little bit of encouragement, trying to get in behind Renardo. A grimace though. Oh, it's a unfortunate coming together, in fairness, both full-blooded going for the ball, but there's no doubt Delphine Cascarino, no, sorry, it's Selma Basha who's taking a bash, and they're giving that just something missing from France's attack, a little bit of magic, or just making a clear decision and executing the pass. Opportunity in that was blocked. Now get involved in play. And there's going to be another card brandished. Someone wants them to camp, but it's the referee in charge, Tori Penso. And it's to level it into the box. Duda Sampai. The back post, headed back across. Danger. Went for something special. But it's very hard in the modern game. Going for an overhead kick, you really need to make sure you have the space and time, because it's generally going to be a free kick. Did well to... Now, I think what's interesting is, in some ways the referee's being consistent. It's just whether it's consistently right.
Again, Baltimore's won the ball.
Certainly Brazil trying to block her route, but Basha, deep cross, Cascarino may yet keep it in. She felt she did, but the linesman on the mark.
I think they got the measure of...
Suddenly, break forward, 3-on-3. Renard, another corner. Good delivery, the header down, but it wasn't clean. It's just squeezed wide.
Anna Vittoria's got to do better for me for that. She's unmarked, she's come into the box unnoticed. Nobody's picked her up, she's all on her own. So, Baltimore...
17 World Cup for France. As Katoto uses her strength, drives it across, and France will have a corner.
It was actually fortunate.
And when you've got the height of Renard, there's certainly someone to hit. And she did just that. But the crossbar comes to Brazil's rescue.
Some Bach actually that got just in front of Renard. They were both in there together. But Katoto, in fact, that was just behind her. But, well, best chance for France so far, with the exception of the penalty.
Into space. She's got to keep driving. Just showed enough of the ball. And it's Brazil, who again looking so much trouble. Going down injured. As Brazil could give France a big moment. Baltimore on the spin. It's always going to be tough to get it on target. It's deflected wide by Raffaele. In fact, they were just a goal from going out. Now with Lorena on the ball, they will surely be absolutely delighted with this scoreline. And overall,
played by Spain, but it has been a much better performance for them, from them rather. Maybe a free kick though.
Well, that is fantastic striking play. She knew, even if she got the touch, try and counter. Lofted ball. We want to see a little bit more offensively. For the most part, being good. Basha gets herself in trouble. Neither a cross nor a shot of quality from Adriana.
I think she was probably in two minds there. It was a slight mistake by...
Definitive save from Constant Pico, who just seemed to flap it away as Brazil. Anna Vittoria in the first half. France through the middle. What a start to the second half. And that is superb defending, but...
It's a lovely ball through the middle. Kashawi just had the fortunate bounce off her knee, but just that one touch there. She needed to knock that ball more into her path. Just this next touch, I think you'll see. In fact, no, it was a great defending.
Bit of her. Wasn't a great ball either. Just something missing for France. Kashawi, who missed a penalty, couldn't really make the chance work with Katoto. Looking for the right angle. Roro kept it going, but that's much better. Kashawi skips away. Looking for the ball through to Katoto, but totally got it wrong.
It's unselfish. I just wonder whether she shouldn't have just pulled the trigger herself. Maybe it didn't quite sit right for her. That's why she just tried to poke it through for Katoto, but just too much on it.
In the centre of the field. Chance to deliver. Katoto! But to say you expected the net to wrestle is an understatement from the competition's top scorer.
Well, she just had to stretch. It was a lovely ball in. And as you say, you put your house on her scoring at the moment. She got in behind the defender, but she just couldn't.
Long legs. Turns, but gets herself into trouble. Brazil in behind. And it should have been a shock one for the hosts. Well, he is encouraged. Renard feeling fortunate.
It's a rare mistake from Wendy Renard, and Brazil really should have capitalised again.
Certainly want to maybe try and trade shirts afterwards as Kashawi goes down. Referee says it's a shoulder-to-shoulder type of affair. I think the scorer off is Diani. A little back heel, Kashawi. Right idea, lacking in execution.
Just got to be pulled back a little bit more, that ball. Katoto just held her position. Good play by Diani.
Good ball out, but that is terrific from Basha, bashing her way through, and now goes for goal. Certainly wasn't the high percentage option, as they were with Gioro. Casarino wants to drive it across, straight into Lorena, who hams away, but there's a real zip that seems to be returning for France. The crowd responding. De Almeida, well, it may stay in, so at least they can try and keep the pressure on. Diani to warm to the task of breaking the deadlock. Katoto. Well, the ball did cut out Lorena, and in the end it was a very difficult ball for Katoto to pluck out of the sky.
It's just going too close. It's too far ahead of Katoto.
Looking for the breakthrough. It's going to be tough to catch it. But Shawi does well, and had it got past the post, it could have been a tap-in. Diani encouraging France's number 7. She did. Referee keeping her eye on things as the ball's into a good area, but no one. I was going to say they haven't managed to create a chance, but one has gifted itself, and they have silenced the Bourgeois. That was the kind of moment they were dreaming of. The coach is right in the middle of the huddle, and Gabi Portillo with just her 2nd international goal, but a first in a major game. Brazil lead the host France by 1-0.
Well, it's clumsy from France, who've given the ball away, and we said about individual errors as the game wears on. Well, Marta looks delighted, but this is where France have not really woken up. It's gone straight between the 2 central defenders, and there.
Toto, though, needed to be sharper on her toes. And the referee comes across, stern look, just before the substitutions were made. Certainly was. But they might not have the same problem. Portillo again. Oh, she's cracked the base of the post. I thought she maybe made the angle a bit too difficult, but almost a horror show for Pico and the French defence.
He's in charge of an Inter Miami game a couple of months ago when Luis Suarez scored a hat-trick. That's all getting a little bit touchy now at this stage of the game, as you can imagine, and well, let's hope we don't see any unnecessary. We are going to see another yellow card.
Well, the referee is trying to use her experience, but Gioro down the line. Mascherino digs out a cross, almost loops in. Lorena says it went out before she touched it. I don't think the Brazilian's going to get more time added if there are stoppages during injury time, as Le Sommer strikes from distance. She does get it on target, but Lorena, that's the kind of bread and butter she'll happily gobble up all day long.
Straight at the goalkeeper.
Asha, long ball in behind, the ball back, Le Sommer! Oh, well, is Brazil's luck in? France are claiming for a handball.
What a chance. Katoto finally getting round the back. Le Sommer couldn't dig out the shots. It bobbled around. It would be very harsh, but
Eat into the clock, and they're in behind here. Well, the keeper's come a long way, and that has drifted wide, but Pico can suggest that she could stage the first shot on target. And taking the shot, she's just skipped around, digs out a cross. Katoto wins the header. Lena maybe staying up, but it's fallen into the grateful arms of Lorena. And it's all over. Well, France's best ever finish at Olympics was London 2012, when they finished 4th.